Hey YouTube, this is MindTech. Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be opening up and testing out this 4-way SD card reader, which can go into your iPad, to your MacBooks that have USB Type-C, and even to regular computers that just have a USB Type-A port. This does achieve USB 3.0 speeds, which I am extremely excited for. Since I got my camera, I've been having to use a super slow, like 10-year-old 4GB SD card, and this USB 2.0 PNY reader. Very slow, very unreliable. It's even hard to stick the SD card into this slot. I'm hoping that this card reader does the trick for me. First of all, who even made it? I know I got it on Amazon. Supports Windows XP, Vista 7, and Windows 10, Android 5.1, iOS 8 or later, but I think it's going to work. So I still have no idea who made this, but I'm just gonna open it up. Looks like we have a manual that has kind of a cool design, right guys? One side is in Chinese and the other one is in English. We have to download the iUSB Pro app, and that's where we can select files to transfer over. That's the other thing that I'm really excited to use this for. Transferring files with the USB lightning cable to your computer has gotten a whole lot harder. I have to render all of it out in Adobe Rush and then use a file transfer software to bring that rendered file back onto the computer. This should be able to solve it. So let's take it out right now. This is designed pretty well. Did I mention it was about $17 on Amazon? I'm hoping that it's worth it. I'm actually going to go onto my iPad and try and download that app that I needed to get. App Store, search
iUSB Pro.
We have 655 reviews with a 2.5 star rating. Hopefully it's a bit better than the 2.5. I'm not sure if it will be or not. I'm also hoping that we might be able to use the Files app instead of the iUSB application. Alright, so one-click backup, external hard drive. I don't have that. Looks like it's an ad. I hate ads. How about I first stick in a micro SD card on here. So there's full-sized USB and micro USB support. And I believe that it goes up to a 128 gig SD card. Alright, so let's stick this into that lightning port. Kind of worried that it might not work. Okay, so it wants me to format the disk to FAT32, so it detected it at least. It wants to access my photos. Looks like I clicked on like the iPad, so there are all of the photos on my iPad. What I'm going to do then, since it wants me to format, is stick it out, and we can try using it on the computer. So let's plug that in, and it looks like it wants me to format the drive before I do anything with it. So I'm going to select format disk, and it should be going into FAT32, and I'll just do FAT because that was the default. And I'll just start that format. Just all built in Windows right here, and it looks like it was completed. And we are already in the USB drive. It looks like it's not picked up as an SD card, and I should be able to, in theory, transfer photos and videos from and to that. I'm going to stick it back into my iPad. That's what I am most interested in. So it still says iUSB is not connected, so let me refresh. Still says that. If I click on more, I want more features, sir. Give me more. Okay, let me unplug and replug in the device. It is very sturdy, by the way. It says it's not connected. Oh, it said format FAT32. I'm a dumb butt. Format, and change that to FAT32 now. Alright, that's completed. Back to the iPad. And still nothing. Oh, alright, it detected it. It says no files are found. This is progress. So now if I go to iPad, looks like I can back it up. That isn't necessarily what I want. I can capture video right with the iUSB app. Let me do a quick test. Can I switch it over to 1080? Who wants to do 720? And who wants to do it like this and not like that? Or okay, now it's in the correct orientation. Not the best app. So I did a photo of my microphone and I go to video, please. Maybe not. I can switch over to selfie cam. But I want to do video. Allow me to do the video. Apparently that ain't gonna work. But iUSB has found camera roll photos and those two photos that I took. That was saved right to that SD card. It is definitely working. I cannot create a new folder in the main directory of the SD card, but if I go into the camera roll, I can make a new directory there. And then save all the photos that I want to organize in there. Maybe I can click on backup, but I don't necessarily want to put everything on there. I only want to put some things on there. And I'm going to flip over to the iOS 13 Files app. I'm hoping this actually works a bit better. Is anything detected already? Can't do anything there at the top menu except connect to a server. Normally other devices like a regular USB flash drive would be showing up right there on the browse. Unplug and replug. Nope, the iPad doesn't detect.
iUSB Pro would like to communicate communicate with the iUSB.
Allow. All it does is just switch back to the app. Well, that's a bummer. I was really hoping that I'd be able to put things from the iPad to the SD card. That's the reason why I purchased this. You like to back up all photos? No, I do not. Maybe if I click on more, I can... Nope. Can't do anything with that. I guess that I'm just going to back everything up. That's the only purpose that it can serve. Looks like it's slightly speedy. It's about 70% done and 52.6%. That make any sense to you? 99.9? Oh, gotta do it again. You know, if you're expecting USB 3 speeds from the iPad, you're not gonna get that because that lighting port only supports USB 2.0. So it's gonna be kind of slow here, but once you're going into the computer with a USB 3 port, you bet your butt that's going to work. I hope that I have at least some photos on there, so you're going to cancel. See what happens when you stop halfway through. Backup, photos, camera roll. In fact, it does have my photos. Alright guys, so I have backed up some files to the SD card. I'm now going to go onto the computer and see if I can access them. So I'm going to insert the dongle, and it looks like it has popped up right here. We have both camera roll. There's one of my microphone and another one of myself. Not the most glamorous picture. And let's see how fast I can transfer these very quickly. That went like almost instantly. Very good. I'm happy with that. Now let's see what we have in the backup. It looks like some of these are temporary files. There are MP4 files, but I am getting an error. None of these JPEGs look like they are supported. Since I quit the backup about halfway through, most of them didn't get backed up. It looks like some files got through and I was about 20-30%, so that's expected. Let's see how quickly I can transfer over to 130 megabyte file. It's going at about 25 megabytes per second, so that's a very good speed, and then I can play that. It's just really inconvenient because if you want one file, too bad, you're gonna have to get all the files. I am not happy with that. Frick, where's the frickin' frickety frick? It's right here. Where is it? Alright, so I'm going to insert in the SD card into my new reader. I'm gonna first take out the micro SD card. Now that is already a lot easier to insert, like you can't get it the wrong way. You could with that other reader. Then let's insert it into USB 3. There you go, it's already detected. Go into the DCIM folder. Looks like we have some photos. Here are the two videos, 2.15 gigabytes. I'm only going to copy these over to my drive because I want to compare some read and write times. Copy that, go over to the render farm, and then I'm going to paste that on over. So we're about 10 megs a second. Yeah, that's about the max speed that we're gonna get. Sometimes it might speed up, sometimes it won't. I'm gonna cancel that just so I don't have to wait, and I'm gonna take it out of the USB 3 port on the front of my case, and I'm going to try it on the back of my motherboard. Now you gotta be careful if you're doing this yourself. It is pretty wide, especially with that SD card. I actually had to unplug some cables just to get it to fit in. So now let's go and try that again. Let's copy and paste that over. Alright, so we're already about 10.3, about the same speed, so it's a bit more stable. It's just a tad faster. This is probably about the speed that we're going to get considering that it is an over 10-year-old SD card. I'm going to try it in the USB Type-C port and see if that helps. Has it already opened up yet? It looks like Type-C didn't even detect it. I've actually never used this port before, so I don't even know if it does data transfer. Let's do this PC. Oh no, I'm gonna have to plug it in and re-plug it in. It looks like it has found a USB drive. Please insert a disk into USB drive. Oh no, thank you. I'm not gonna insert a disk, so we aren't gonna get that test done. But what we can try now is using both the micro SD and the SD card. It'll probably just freak out, to be honest with you. Oh, here's a cool thing I just discovered. This has a micro USB port. That's nice. Alright, the micro SD is in. Plug that back in. Alright, now it just finds it as a USB drive once again. Let me remove the big SD card. Unplug, replug. Okay, now that's detected. Now let me try it one more time with the big SD card. So it looks like it has picked up the micro SD, but definitely not the big one. So you can only do one at a time. If I unplug the micro SD while it is live, it just completely freaks out. The wrong diskette is in the drive. Insert correct diskette. I don't think that I have the correct diskette. Not liking this thing. Not a big fan. Let's try the speeds with the big bulky USB 2 reader. Plug that into the computer. Then we can explore the same directories. Now if I copy these two files, go to the hard drive and paste that in, looks like we're achieving pretty much the same exact speeds. I'm going to try a better SD card because I think that that's where our bottleneck has been introduced. Here's my better SD card. Let's first try out with the USB 3 reader. 95 megs a second, that's what it's promising. We should easily be able to achieve that, and if we don't, I'm sending it back. Let's go to DCIM. Here are all the files from the camera. Let's try this 1.48 gig file. Oh yeah, that's definitely a lot better. Not 95 meg a second though. See, 35, 36. That is a vast improvement. Not because of this reader, but because of the SD card. Okay, so as you can see, that successfully transferred over. Let's try the big bulky one. All right, let's push that on over. Yeah, it's a bit better on this one. I gotta give it to them. It's a bit better. Not a whole lot. We're getting about 10 meg a second less. And just for craps and giggles, let's try it in the back of the computer once more. And I'll try number 2 again on my SSD. And yep, achieving the same speeds as we did before. The bottleneck is not the SD card, it is the reader. Bottleneck also is not any SATA port. I went both on a SATA hard drive and on a SATA SSD. They can achieve read and write speeds far above that. This is Crystal Disk Mark performing a benchmark on my E drive, which is the hard drive. It can read 120 meg a second and it can write 102 meg a second. This was 1080p footage that I was copying over. It should have performed a lot better. My disks were not a bottleneck in this case. Here it is, $17. What kind of speeds does it promise? Up to 5 gigabits a second. Since it's gigabits, it's going to be a lot less than gigabyte a second, but that should be 625 meg a second. I'm not getting near that. I'm not even getting near the advertised speed for the SD card. So what I'm gonna do is unplug this, open up the box. I'm gonna take all of its caps, place those back on. Gonna place it back in its container, place this manual back in. And I'm going to place the entire assembly back into the box, all back in. And I'm going to send this back and buy a product that's going to work. Do not buy this 4-in-1 card reader. Thank you guys for watching. It ticks me the heck off that I spent $17 on something that I'm gonna have to send back. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.